What up? What up, people? It's your boy Chig. You are through to Chig Flicks. And today I'm going to be reviewing the past two episodes. So that's not including the one that dropped yesterday because I need to watch that one. Um, the past two episodes of Loki. So episode 3 and episode 4. Two very different episodes, which I enjoyed a lot immensely for different reasons. And I'm going to dive into why now. Remember, as always, please do stick a like on this video, hit the subscribe button um, as you receive this video, and hopefully you're enjoying the new content that I'm trying to get out there. So obviously I'm not long done a couple of different reviews, so hopefully you are enjoying it. So make sure you do show it some love and hit that like button on it. All right, let's talk about Loki episode 3 first and foremost. Now, I won't dive into this too long because that was like old news at this point. It's like last week. But I liked this episode. I've seen this episode get some criticism because they felt it was quite slow. And in terms of pace wise, there's no doubt about it. It's the slowest in terms of sheer things that are happening on the screen at you in the whole of the series. They had to slow down at some point. You have to be able to catch your breath at some point. And this was definitely the catch the breath episode. This was also the episode in which you saw a lot of in-depth acting, not only from our Loki and Tom Silverstone, Tom Silverstone, who we know is I'll call him Silverstone. I know that's not his name. Literally, I can see his name in my head, and I've temporarily forgotten how to say it, which is what is absolutely ridiculous. Don't make me search this because that is really going to be embarrassing. Tom Silverstone. Why the fuck I'm saying that? His name is Tom Hiddleston. You big dope. Sorry about that. Who we know is a good actor anyway. But actually, what we saw was some in-depth acting from Lady Loki, or AKA Sophia DiMartino. And, you know, we saw lots of things. We learned lots of little intricacies about their behavior, their character. You know, we learned that Loki swings both ways, which seems to be a big talking point for people. It's kind of like, well, yeah, as extravagant as he is, why would he be held to any type of heterosexual bounds? Of course he'd be clear. Of course he'd swing both ways. We saw, how Loki thinks a little bit from different perspectives, not just from the fact of obviously they're two different variants, but actually we got to see what our Loki thinks like and thinks about, which was really good. And we saw a very brief but very good chemistry develop between Tom Hiddleston and Sophia during this episode, which it would have been difficult to do because this episode was clearly designed for that purpose. And usually when you force something like that, it doesn't tend to come on board. But actually, it seems like, they seem to get on with each other really well. And that actually showed in the episode and in the filming. And I really liked the intricacies of it. I personally enjoyed it a lot. Their whole kind of struggle in this particular episode was they needed to get off this planet before essentially the planet was destroyed with them on it. Spoiler alert, they didn't manage to do it. So yeah, I guess we get to find out in episode 4 what happened. But yeah, I thought it was a really good episode. We got to learn that the the time variance workers maybe variance themselves, which was really, really good. Really good kind of storytelling and just dropped a dime on everyone. So yeah, I really liked it personally. So then that was episode 3. Episode 4, however, they gave you a breather for a reason. And I should have realized that. I should have realized that. They gave me a breather for a reason. Because if episode 3 was the breather episode, episode 4 was to turn it up to fucking 11 episode. Where everything went to shit. Everything went to shit. Um, they basically managed to get back Sylvie, who by the way is Lady Loki. She says her name is Sylvie. We learned her name is Sylvie through episode 3. So if you're wondering who I mean by Sylvie, that's who I'm calling Sylvie. Loki, they got them back at the beginning of the first episode. So at the beginning of the episode, and you know, B Hunter 15 or B15 Hunter is really, really intrigued by Sylvie and you know the thoughts that Sylvie has shown her through having her hypnotized. So she wants to obviously learn more about her future and that, which Sylvie obliges her. Sorry, my phone's going a bit nuts. What else? What else happens? There's so many things that happen. Really, Owen Wilson gets pruned, which was a bit sad until we learned something about this pruning, and what we always assumed was death may not necessarily be death. We learned a little bit about the Renova Renslayer character, you know, that gorgeous mixed race girl. She's quite a badass in the actual episode, but we kind of learned something about her. Like, we learned that actually her and Sylvie have actually come across each other before, and like from the very start, from the very get go, they came across each other when she was a variant hunter, and Sylvie slipped through her fingers then as a young Sylvie. They came across Sylvie when she was like 10. It looks like, and then she got the slip then, and obviously since then she's obviously running shit now, and she's turned into a little bit of a badass herself. But she was on pruning motherfuckers from day one. She pruned fucking Owen Wilson. She pruned Loki. I think she pruned someone else as well. If you remember from is it episode 2 or episode 3? Yeah, it was episode 3. I forgot to mention. They had that young uh, uh, um, variant hunter. They had her. She was still hypnotized, wasn't she, from episode 2? And Sylvie mentioned the fact that you know that there are some that are harder to get under the spell than others, and you need to create like a whole story for those guys. Well, you know, it was mentioned today. It was mentioned in this episode that actually that variant hunter had died as a result of Sylvie's powers. So it was just like, wow, okay, how powerful is this woman? So yeah, it was a really fun episode. I'm not describing it particularly well. I would say go and watch it. This one I'm not gonna spoil anything for you, but they crank it up from what episode 3 is. They really do crank it up. Episode 4, and they've got a lot to tie up between episode 5 and 6. This is a 6-episode season, so they've got a lot to tie up between now and the end of the season. And from what I understand, the last 2 episodes is basically everything we've seen in trailers up until now. So it will look quite familiar. So I'm looking forward to seeing it. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I'm enjoying the season. I still don't think it's I think I was expecting it to be the best TV series I've seen from Marvel up until date. That's not the case. Um, but is it intriguing? Is it unusual? Is it different? Am I intrigued to see a second season? Yeah, of course, of course. But let's see where we go. Let's see where we go. Obviously, the end of this episode of season 4, it concluded with Loki being pruned and then being sent to what I can only assume is a version of the end of the world. Where he looked like he was in New York or somewhere like that, but like a really fucked up version of New York with Richard Curtis's version of Loki. Then you had a black guy who apparently is the bashful version of Loki, and then you have a young version of Loki, like kid Loki, who looks like he's about 15, and they're all staring at him, and they basically say that he needs to follow them if he wants to live, and that was that. So yeah, we've still got a lot more questions than answers, but I'm looking forward to it. I'm definitely intrigued. What do you guys think? Let me know. Leave it in the comments below. Are you enjoying it? I know not everybody's enjoying Loki, and that's all right too. You know, you don't have to enjoy anything really. So let me know if you're enjoying it. Leave it in the comments below. And until later, really, I'm out of here. I need to get ready for work. All right, people. I'll leave you to it. Take care. Enjoy your day. Peace.